Welcome to our third episode of our Demystifying AI series. I'm genuinely excited today because, we're looking at a tool lots of us use, ChatGPT, but maybe not to its full potential.
Exactly. It's more than just that chat box.
Right. We want to explore some of those maybe hidden features, the ones that can turn it into like a real digital teammate.
Yeah, absolutely. There are layers there,
Yeah.
capabilities designed to really plug into how you work, handle tricky tasks, and even respect your privacy in ways people might not expect.
So I guess our goal in this installment is to really get into those features, understand what they are, sure, but also how using them changes things for you, moving past just asking questions.
Think of it less like just firing off a search query and more like briefing a capable assistant, maybe handing them a stack of documents or a complex problem.
Okay.
The main idea is that ChatGPT isn't just one thing. You can actually tweak its memory, how you give it information, even its sort of personality to fit what you need.
Okay, let's dive into some specifics then. One key area, especially around control and privacy, is this temporary chat feature. That sounds different.
It really is. It's a specific mode for conversations you absolutely do not want saved or used for training the AI later. The source we looked at used a neat analogy, like writing in sand. It's there when you need it, then gone. No trace.
Okay, I can see that. Perfect for maybe brainstorming really sensitive company ideas or hashing out personal decisions you want to keep private, or even just asking random stuff without it, messing up your chat history.
Exactly. It avoids clutter and, crucially, prevents that specific chat from influencing future responses you get. Gives you that control.
Right. And speaking of control, that brings us to managing its memory. The source mentioned options to manage or reset memory.
Yeah, this is important. By default, ChatGPT learns from your chats to try and be more relevant over time.
Which can be useful, but
But you can turn it off. You have pretty fine-grained control. You can switch off the memory feature completely. Or you can go in and delete specific past chats it might remember, or, wipe the whole slate clean, everything it remembers about your interactions.
wow, okay, so it's more than just clearing history. It's managing what the AI knows about your context.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It puts you in charge of that balance between personalization and privacy.
And where would you find those settings, typically?
Usually enter settings, then look for something like personalization or maybe data controls. And related to that, there's another privacy toggle, often called the self-improvement toggle.
Right, and that's the one that stops your conversations from being used to train the main big AI model for everyone else.
That's the one. So if you're dealing with, say, proprietary business info, or you just prefer your data stays separate, you flip that switch, often labeled improve the model for everyone. You turn that off.
Adds another layer of data separation.
Yep, it's all about user agency, giving you choices about your data.
Okay, so that's how it handles data. Let's shift to how we interact with it. It's not just typing anymore, right? Voice chat comes up.
Oh yeah, this is a big one for changing the feel of interacting. Instead of typing out prompts, you just talk. Like a voice assistant, but, with the whole ChatGPT brain behind it.
I can immediately see that being useful for brainstorming, maybe when you're out for a walk, or just thinking aloud to structure something complex. Feels more natural sometimes.
It does for many people. Lets ideas flow more freely. You just tap the little microphone icon. It's on mobile and desktop now, and it shifts from typing to talking.
And on mobile, the sources mention mobile superpowers, combining that voice input with visual search.
Ah, yes. The visual input on phones is genuinely pretty cool. It uses your camera.
So you can take a picture of something.
Exactly. Anything.
Yeah.
A diagram on a whiteboard, notes, even a physical spreadsheet on paper. And then you ask ChatGPT questions about the picture.
Whoa. The example given was taking a photo of a paper spreadsheet and asking it to add up a column. That's bridging physical and digital.
It really is. It moves beyond just recognizing objects. It's about understanding the content in the image-reading text, seeing data layouts, and then reasoning about it. Major potential there for dealing with non-digital info.
Yeah, I can see that. And this idea of integrating with your information. That leads perfectly into the ability to upload and use files. This sounds like where the digital teammate idea really clicks.
Totally. This tackles the pain of copy-pasting huge chunks of text. You can connect your cloud storage like Google Drive, OneDrive,
Okay.
and then let ChatGPT directly access and process specific files you pointed to.
That's huge for efficiency. No more character limits, no more chopping things up. The examples were great. Asking detailed questions about a long PDF contract, summarizing meeting notes automatically, comparing data across Excel sheets.
Right. The AI isn't just talking about things, it's working with the data inside your documents. It sees them as context for the conversation.
And there's a specific technique for that, file-aware prompting.
Yeah, basically means you frame your question specifically referring to the file you just uploaded.
So not just summarize this, but more like,
Like the example. In this uploaded report, what are the key budget changes this quarter? The AI knows this report means the file you provided. Makes interactions super targeted, especially for dense stuff like research papers or business plans.
so it understands the connection between your prompt and the file.
Hmm.
Okay. What about getting info from outside, like current events?
That's the real-time web and data search feature. Older versions sometimes had knowledge cutoffs, but this gives ChatGPT access to the live internet.
Ah, perfect for fact-checking things, getting the latest news, finding recent data points. Does it work with internal stuff too, like company databases?
It can, yeah, if it's set up. It could potentially pull info from your company's SharePoint or maybe code repositories like GitHub, treating those as information sources for your queries. Connects the AI to dynamic data, public or private.
Okay, so with all these ways to interact, files, web, images, voice things could get messy if you're juggling different projects. How do you organize it?
That's where project spaces come in. Think of them as dedicated folders or workspaces within ChatGPT.
Okay.
You can bundle together related chats, any files you've uploaded for that project, even specific custom instructions you want the AI to follow just for that task.
Oh, I like that. So instead of one long chat stream, I could have a space for, say, planning a marketing campaign, another for personal learning, another for analyzing research papers.
Exactly that. It brings structure when you're working on different things. Create a new space, drag the relevant chats or files into it, keeps everything for one goal together. Much tidier.
That makes sense. Now, all these features suggest it's quite a sophisticated tool, and the sources mentioned one more key thing, picking the right model, implying there isn't just one ChatGPT.
That's a really important point. Different versions or models of the AI exist, and they're often optimized for different things.
Reka.
Well, some might be better at creative writing, others might be fine-tuned specifically for generating computer code or handling really complex logical steps. Some are faster, some can handle more text at once.
So choosing the right model for the job, like maybe a detailed analysis model when I'm uploading complex reports, versus a faster, maybe more creative one for brainstorming, actually impacts the result.
Absolutely. It's like picking the right tool from a toolbox. Knowing the strengths of the available models helps you get much better, more relevant results from the AI. You usually see a drop-down menu somewhere near the top to choose.
Okay, that's a lot of powerful features. How does this all come together? The source material had that great example of a project manager planning a product launch.
Yeah, that really shows how you weave these together. The manager isn't just using one feature in isolation.
Right.
So picture this.
Hmm.
Maybe they start their day using voice mode during their commute, just brainstorming initial campaign slogans or ideas, talking them out.
Capturing thoughts hands-free. Makes sense.
Exactly. Then, back at the desk, they use the file upload feature to pull in last quarter's sales report from their OneDrive. Then, using that file-aware prompting, they ask ChatGPT to analyze that specific report, maybe alongside some current market trends it finds using the real-time search feature. Perhaps asking it to compare sales trends against competitor moves.
So it's merging internal data from the file with external web data.
Precisely. And because this is all for the product launch, they probably drag that chat, the file link, maybe the voice brainstorming notes, into a dedicated project space called Product Launch Q3.
Keeping it all organized.
Yep. And then if they needed to draft a sensitive internal strategy memo based on that analysis, they might switch to temporary chat mode for just that conversation.
Ensuring that specific bit isn't saved or used for training.
You got it.
Yeah.
And maybe they've already toggled off the main improve the model for everyone setting if they're dealing with confidential IP throughout the process.
So what could have taken hours digging through reports, searching online, drafting, worrying about privacy gets streamlined significantly.
Into potentially minutes, yeah. It really transforms the tool from just, a text generator into a much more dynamic partner that can handle complex analysis and organization.
It really drives home that these aren't just niche settings, they're components of a powerful workflow tool. So for you listening, how can you start playing with this? The sources had some good starting points.
Definitely. First, try out the privacy stuff. Start a temporary chat. Ask it something unique, like your favorite obscure historical fact. Then close it. Start a new regular chat and ask if it remembers what you just talked about. It shouldn't. That really shows the writing in sand idea.
Good test. Okay, what else?
Try the file upload. Find a document, your resume, maybe a report from work, even just a long article, upload it, and then ask specific questions about it using that file-aware prompting. Ask for a summary or define key dates or suggest improvements. See how it handles your text.
Get a feel for that interaction and the organization piece.
Yeah, try setting up a project space. Pick a personal goal or a small work project. Create a space for it. Start putting relevant chats or ideas in there. See if that helps you organize your thinking within the tool.
Those seem like really practical ways to start. I think the big takeaway here is that just seeing ChatGPT as a simple chatbot misses so much. These features really do make it a more versatile, customizable, powerful digital partner.
Yeah, it can genuinely integrate into how you work or learn, streamlining things, giving you more control. It's about making the AI work smarter for you once you know these capabilities exist.
So as these tools get even better at handling complex tasks and our data in these ways, the final thought to leave you with is this. How might truly understanding and using these specific features reshape not just the tools we pick, but maybe the fundamental ways we approach our daily work and projects?
That's definitely something to think about.
Thanks for joining us for this installment of the Demystifying AI